Hey everybody, Deborah Shane here. I'm roaming around Icon 14 and I don't know how I did this. I don't know how I pulled it off, but I'm here with Clate Mask, who is the CEO and founder of Infusionsoft and, of course, the Icon 14 conference that I'm at. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet, you bet.
You know, you talked about some things in our media orientation about the dark side of entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
And really what I wanted to ask you was, in those early days when you went through those dark times of entrepreneurship, I want to know specifically what you did personally to get you through those moments and propel you forward, and how any entrepreneur can do the same thing.
You bet. Well, I think it's important for people to understand that for 3 years the company just completely struggled. Today people might see, oh, you have venture capital and you have investors and you have all those things, but we bootstrapped the company for many, many years before we raised capital. And in the early years, those first 3 years were just brutally tough. And we understand entrepreneurship and small business for having gone through it. And it wasn't the first time, by the way. We had also done little side businesses and other things. But this time we were really going through it and everything was on the line. And about 2 years into the struggle, all of my training and education, and I'd been to 8 years of college. I had all of this learning that I thought was going to translate into success, and it just wasn't. And I was frustrated, and I was hurt, and I was dealing with all of the darkness and the skepticism and the doubts of people I cared about and that I loved and that loved me. And we were just struggling, and struggling mightily. Like every day was just a survival of, are we gonna, is this thing gonna all, go away? And so there were a couple of things that happened that were critical. The first thing was I got totally broken down and humbled to the point that my education was not something that I could lean on. My own devices, I realized they just weren't enough. I just got totally humbled. And so the humbling reminded me of something that my dad used to always talk about, and what he talked about all the time was, he said, it's all about your attitude. He was a big positive mental attitude guy, and as a teenager I was like, whatever, And I went through 8 years of college kind of getting all of that beaten out of me, that it was really more about what you know and all of that. It's not. It's actually, your mind is everything, but it's not about what you know. It's about how you deal with everything. And so the first big thing that happened was I got humbled to the point that I was able to remember what my dad told me as a teenager. And in particular, he talked all the time about positive thinking. And I remembered that he told me over and over that I should read this book called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And on a certain plane trip, I got a hold of that book and I read it, and it just totally struck me and lit me up. And I realized that I was losing the battle in my mind. The second thing that happened that was really critical was I was seeing success of others, and I was doing what I thought was going to bring us success, and I realized we're not having that success. And so I need to be willing to change our techniques and our tactics. And we became very, very open to marketing, to learning small business marketing, direct marketing. And the combination of learning marketing, developing a marketing mindset, and developing the power of positive thinking. Those are the two things that helped us get out of the dark days. And it wasn't immediate. It took us several months. But by about 2.5 or 3 years into our business, things started to really change, and we were able to overcome it. So it really is about mindset in those early days. And the power of positive thinking and the marketing mindset are critical drivers to helping entrepreneurs get out of those dark days.